Hi, my name is Georgi, and now I will do the overview of the Estonian press of today's newspaper, Postimees. I'm not going to do it every day, but every other day or whenever I have time. For the beginning, I want to tell that I saw yesterday Navalny's video, this Russian opposition leader who was arrested in Russia. And I saw his video about Putin's palace and how much he has allegedly stole to buy that palace. 1 billion euros. Quite demotivating for everyone who goes to work. But it's an awful thing. I advise everyone to go and check it out. So let's go to the Estonian press. So the first is a big advert on the first page. Big advert about Donald Trump administration. That is today is the last day. I will do the overview of the newspapers, mainly the Estonian news. But let's take a look. Second page. There are now political negotiations between the two biggest parties in the parliament, Reformierakond and Keskerakond. So it's a center party and the party of reforms. So they are the biggest. The good thing about that is that they are finding more and more common ground. So they have agreed not to log that much wood from the government forest. There is a government organization who runs the forest on government land. So this is good news. So they will not invest more in the energy sector related to burning fossil fuels. Just a note that historically Estonia made a lot of electricity in Narva region, and it was from coal burning plants. But now, because of these CO2 emissions, they are not competitive, and most of them they burned biomass instead. And this was kind of it's a questionable thing, because biomass, they say it's like renewable energy, but they started deliberately cutting wood to burn it. The initial idea was that this which cannot be used by timber in industry, this can be burned, and that's sustainable, but not this one. So less lodging and no fossil fuels. About the new coalition, what I like about that, mainly women. That's good. Also, they agreed that they are going to put more effort. There is a special organization to investigate corruption in the political landscape. So they will continue with that. The Center Party withdraws a signature. Their initial plan was to shut that organization down. But since there were several corruption allegations, they are now even putting more efforts into that. The next article on the second page is one of the Center Party leaders, Mailis Reps. She's also in the negotiations, but she's still under investigation of some wrongdoings when she was Minister of Education. she drove her kids with the government car around, and it was a big article in one other newspaper. So this is kind of moral issue. Should she continue in negotiating the new government, and there are still corruption allegations? So that's a good question. So third page, big ad. So on page number 4, on page number 4, that few people have died drinking methanol alcohol. 3 men in a place called Kose, smaller, I don't know, in town or village. This is kind of new. Maybe the economic downfall is affecting, I don't know, quite a big article. So one of the hospital managers offered Tartu Rotary Club some vaccines, which is another question that obviously not a good idea if the vaccines are not available for everyone. So here is his apology, and he's sorry, but he meant good. He thought that because in these vials there is 1 dose more, and he was afraid that it's kind of going to go to waste. That's why he offered it, but I don't buy that. But at least he apologizes and realizes that not a good idea. So there is one more kind of mafia article. There was one like a short-term lending company, Mini Credit, and in connection with that, some people influential people or mafia people were jailed, still in jail, and one of the guys gave his testimonials. The guy who is not jailed gave testimonials from England, said he is not coming to Estonia, and this gives a little bit of a glimpse to maybe the mafia words, or that there are there are criminals in Estonia. It's not that rosy and everything. So there is one particular part that after the investor signed in the notary that he is buying a company for lending to people like money, he's buying it for 850,000 euros. After going out of the notary, these alleged criminals, they asked 400,000 euros more. So be careful with that kind of people. It's not a joke. He writes here in the article that by then he already understood that what kind of other consequences could follow, so he paid up. So not Estonian, not that rosy. There are criminals here too. So another kind of article about another corruption case where the person is jailed, Kersti Kracht. But so the article mainly by their lawyer that jailing was not necessary, and most likely the person is innocent. Interesting case. So this is really interesting. On page number 6, let me just show it to you. You see big charts. So the Estonians, the population of Estonians Estonia is increasing, but the birth rate is decreasing. The increase was mainly due to influx of people from abroad. So that's another reason for everyone to come to Estonia. Not everyone, at least we need people. So a decrease in the birth rate is continuing. So that's not good for Estonian language, maybe Estonians as a nation, but that's an opportunity. So if you want to come to a good country, you're welcome. So one more article here that yesterday was like a religious of this Orthodox Christians, Slavic religion. In short, a religious thing they have to do. So yesterday they had to be blessed with special this water, and then they had to or it is advised to go into the water 3 times and say a prayer. So this is Slavic religion. And on page number 8, these are already international news. I'm not going to get into details. Then we go to the economics page number 10. That the turnaround of the turnover of the builders, those who are building houses, ready-made houses, their turnover is increasing, which is a positive thing. So here is the article. Builders. But the export has decreased, but no matter that, they have obviously increased the production for the local market. So real estate booming, also good for me. But one of the builders of these houses says that no, we are not ready to take big risks. Another not that good news, that IT company, a northern IT company, takes away like 180 IT jobs from Estonia. Not good. The virus has influenced the loss of a job in mainly Ida-Virumaa and the most jobs have disappeared in Harjumaa and Hiiumaa. Harjumaa, obviously, because 70% of all the economic activities in Harjumaa. So most jobs were lost at Harjumaa. So the banking sector is ready for more like putting bank payments on hold. So if somebody doesn't have a job, he can contact the bank and postpone the payments. He has to pay the interest still, but not the main part. That's good. The registration of new cars have decreased. So another economic news from Samsung, skipping that. On page number 12, another interesting article about how Estonian person had during the Soviet times, the USSR had a program for like a medium-sized nuclear weapon. So he was flying with a parachute and an atomic bomb, like crazy. That's really, but this is a big article. I don't have time for that at the moment. It's interesting. His name is Vido Polikarpus, and this kind of nuclear munitions were in use until 1983. So more ads. Some opinions. So, because I see we have already gone into 17 minutes, that's the end of the overview of the newspapers for today. Let me know if you liked it, and subscribe, ring the bell notification so more people can see that content, and see you in the next video.